The Yellowstone Ranch lost 300 head of cattle in a single night. Old John directly ordered his men to burn down the ranch. Watching the scene before him, Old John's heart filled with pain. At that moment, Old John made a firm decision. I had to find the person behind all this. A large amount of fodder was dropped onto the ranch from the air. The cattle, seeing this, began to overeat. The next day, Kate, as usual, inspected the ranch and noticed that a bull was acting strangely. Several people rushed to check it out. RIP used a knife to gently puncture it, and the bull's stomach began to expel liquid like a fountain. It was evident that he was suffering from swelling. What puzzled everyone was that the cattle had been carefully fed by them. How was it possible that they suffered from bloating? At that moment, Kate saw a shocking scene in front of him. All the cattle on the ranch had died overnight. Old John quickly arrived at the ranch. The experienced cowboy discovered the cause. There was alfalfa on the ranch, and if animals consume this plant without immediate treatment, they can die from bloat. Although there was no evidence at the scene, Old John already had a suspect in mind, because not long ago, two people who had long coveted the ranch, Native American Chief Thomas and real estate developer Daniel, had come to an agreement. They planned to build the largest casino in the region around the ranch. In this way, the price of land in the entire valley would double, and John's property taxes would increase to 10,000 wons a year. This would ruin Old John's ranch. Of course, Old John wouldn't sit idly by. He asked the sheriff to authorize Kit to act armed, and ordered his son to find evidence to arrest the culprit. But the main problem now was getting rid of the alfalfa to prevent it from taking root in the area. That same night, Old John ordered his men to burn down the ranch. Seeing the land that had been inherited for more than a century, his heart was torn. If anyone dared to provoke them, so they should prepare to face the methods of the men of Yellowstone. The next day, a police officer showed up at Daniel's house. Realizing the situation, Daniel immediately drew his weapon as the two faced each other. Kate managed to subdue Daniel in one move, then took him inside the house for interrogation. Just as he was walking up the stairs, Daniel's bodyguard, disguised as a maintenance technician, approached. The officer, upon lowering his guard, was knocked down with a blow, then he threw it into the trunk. Inside the house, Daniel kept talking to distract Kay, but he underestimated Kif's abilities. Daniel then pointed his gun at Kay. Fortunately, the officer appeared just in time. It turns out the bodyguard had forgotten to take the keys from him. Kid, furious, grabbed Daniel and interrogated him, asking if he had killed the ranch cattle. Taro, Daniel replied that he would not kill cattle, that he would use legitimate means to ruin the Yellowstone Ranch, but he would never resort to despicable methods. Kid, observing his gaze, realized that Dan was not the one responsible behind everything. Kid returned home and told his father. Old John was also puzzled.